Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Troy Dukowitz of the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action to create big ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this: does it even really matter? So I am obviously I'm coming home. If you've listened to me for the last couple of days, you know I've been in Irvine, California, and I am now driving home from the airport. And I've spent a good part of last night and even today on my phone trying to figure out what was going on with this program called Libsyn, Libsyn. And the reason for that is because as I was checking in on my podcast, and I like to drop it on Facebook, and I like to drop it on Instagram as a nice, gentle reminder for people to go listen to me. And as I was searching for it, I couldn't find it. I could not find my own podcast. Now, I know that my podcast had been getting listened to and downloaded because I was able to log into the dashboard and see that it was getting listened to and downloaded. But what I couldn't find in the podcast app was my podcast. That makes it really hard to post a podcast when you don't have your podcast. And so as I was going through, and I recorded an extra one for Saturday, and if you're listening to this one today, you're listening to it on a Sunday. I recorded another one for Sunday, and I got to thinking when we pulled into St. Louis, I thought, well, does it matter anyway? And in that moment, I thought, well, yeah, it matters, because it matters to one person for sure. It matters to me. Because I made an agreement with myself, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to podcast Monday through Fridays. And this particular week, I said, you know what? I'm going to throw a few extra ones out there. I'm going to put them into the weekend as well. And so it mattered to me because I made a promise to myself. I made a commitment to myself. And then the flip side of that, and taking it a step further, I said, well, but it also matters to somebody. I mean, I have listeners. Hey, and thank you, by the way. I have listeners. I have people who actually listen to me. And as a result of it, as I've gotten wonderful, beautiful feedback of just how maybe a particular podcast helped to change somebody's focus or their energy or their connection or the way they're doing things. In other words, it has some way somehow altered people's lives in a positive way. So to at least one person listening outside of myself, it matters. And so, you kind of take a look at it and go, okay, well, why am I podcasting in the first place? Well, in the first place, it allows me to sit down and really refocus. It allows me to think about the happenings in my life and how I can use them to empower me moving forward, how I can use them as a course correction for me moving forward, how I can use them to keep me in a place of power and production in my life, in my relationships, in my health, and in my business. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is for me just as much as it may be for you. And then there's part two, which is the effect that it can have on other people. And so it matters. It matters if I don't follow through with my commitment. It matters if I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it, I'm out of integrity. That matters. Integrity is a big value for me. It matters because it's a daily check-in for me to get myself focused and to learn from the lessons that I have in life. Of course it matters. And to the people listening who actually utilize this podcast in their own lives, and they've seen some level of change and or success and or just a change in their headspace, it of course matters. And so I pose this question back to you. Where in your life are you looking at things and not following through? If you say you're going to do something, you follow through and you do it. And maybe you think that it doesn't matter, but you have to remember that it matters to one person for certain. It matters to you. It matters to you to stay in integrity. It matters to you to follow through on your commitments. It matters to you to step up and be the bigger version that you are capable of being. And the only way you're going to do that is to follow through on the commitments that you make to yourself. So where in your life, across body, being, balance, and business, are you not following through on the commitments that you've made to yourself? And maybe thought it doesn't really matter, when in actuality, it does. It doesn't matter if it matters to the rest of the world. If it matters to you, it matters. And you need to follow through and do what you said you were going to do. And the beauty of this, folks, is when you start basically piling up a few of these, in other words, a few of your own victories, other people notice. And those people start to make positive changes in their lives as a result of something you did for yourself. So yes, of course, you matter. That's all I've got for you here today. Hey, if you haven't already, please head on over to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. Make sure you rate and or review and or subscribe to this podcast. And heck, even share it with friends, family members, coworkers that you think would benefit from the fire I deliver here every week, Monday through Friday. And hey, as of this podcast, even on Saturday and Sunday. And if you haven't already, please head on over to the commitandgo.com page where you can get a free time mastery program to help you to manage your time and your energy. Oh, baby, your energy management throughout the course of the week so you're not bleeding and leaking energy on things that don't matter. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time.